Hello. Hello, my name's Ruthie. Most of you know me on YouTube as PonytailRuth because I've made nearly 3,000 videos of the 1950s rock and roll and rockabilly music and lifestyle and the classic cars and the dancing and everything to do with that scene. So, and this is my first time ever in front of the camera because I'm always making the videos, so please bear with me because I'm totally new to this. So what I want to do is actually make a completely different video about long hair, how to look after it, how to maintain it, how to grow it, and get it in the best tip-top condition you can possibly do, because people are always asking me about my nice hair and how do I manage to look after it. So I'm going to give you countless tips today. And I know sometimes it's controversial, older ladies with long hair, but I believe if it genuinely suits you to have long hair and your hair's in lovely condition, then why not? So it's a personal choice, but I like my long hair and I don't often wear it loose. I'm probably really because I'm making this video, but mainly I do tie it back and have all different styles. So my main tips I want to share with you is that I love the Tangle Teaser. Oh, and before I go on, I'm not on any kind of commission for anything I recommend today. It's purely because it works for me, and that's the only reason. So I started out with Tangle Teaser many years ago, and I bought the original version, which is this, and they still make it. And the new improved version, which is called the Tangle Teaser Elite, looks like this. I put them together so you can really see the difference. They're quite different shape at front, and at the back again you can see it's quite a different shape. But what I love about this is that it's got a much better grip. It never falls out of your hand, and it's made of one piece. I mean, it might look like two pieces because you see the yellow and the orange, but whatever they've done, it never ever falls apart. So this is wonderful. And why I love it is because I don't have knots anymore. It just glides through your hair beautifully. Like, that's so easy. Oh, and by the way, I'll show you my hair. Now, please excuse the fact that I'm growing my fringe out. So I'm at that really awkward in-between stage. So if I have my fringe down, it's just below my eyes. It's not quite long enough to do anything with, so excuse the little bits. But I'm going to show you basically the condition of my hair so you can see. It's, you know, nice looked after. You can see the nice ends. You can see that clearly, hopefully. So with this, as I said, with the Tangle Teaser, there's just no knots anymore, so it's wonderful for children, no screaming kids anymore. And but they do other products, and the other one I love that I bought, it's called the Aqua Splash, still made by Tangle Teaser, but you see it's completely different. It's hollow, and it's designed to live in your bathroom, in the shower or bathroom shelf, because it's got little feet. And so what this is for is to comb, well, so brush your conditioner through when you're in the shower. So wonderful, the Aqua Splash. And the other one I bought, which I love, and this is small, it's called the Compact, so you can see the difference in size, the little compact one. This is great because it goes in your handbag, and they do all different patterns. It's a Hello Kitty or something. But anyway, this is what's good, because it's got like a little lid which protects all the prongs, so that's great for your handbag. Now, this is another one which I've got in reserve. It's in a box. So I will say to you, be very careful that you don't get an imitation Tangle Teaser, because this is made in Great Britain. Don't get one of the cheap Chinese imports in the pound shop or any similar name. Teaser is spelt T-E-E-Z-E-R, more like tweezer. So, and that's a nice one because it's in the sort of leopard print. Now, something to be aware, they have a life like anything. So eventually the little prongs will splay, a bit like a toothbrush. So after you've had it a few years and you see that happening, it won't be so efficient. So that's the time to sort of let it go. And you see, You probably can't because it's black, but this is my old one which I don't use now. I actually use it on the cat and it's fine for the cat, he loves it. So, but to save money, because I know they're quite expensive, if you go on, say, Amazon, or not YouTube, sorry, Amazon or eBay, but mainly Amazon, it's much cheaper, you pay so much less for it, and also if you buy more than one product, you do get free delivery, so that's a good tip for you. And yeah, so they're lovely. So my next tip is, when it comes to hair washing, if you can try and just wash your hair once a week or twice, no more, because it really does strip. It just strips the natural oils. And also, only ever wash your hair and condition it in tepid water. That's really important. Don't use hot water, whatever you do. It's really no good. So, and my method for washing my hair, oh, and by the way, I only ever use top quality products on my hair. I won't buy any of the normal brands that you see advertised on the telly. They may look very tempting, but they're really not good. The best ones to go for are the famous hairdresser names. Like, for example, this is what I use, and I love this. John Frieda Frizzies. Now, this is more professional range, and yes, they are twice the price, but if you shop around in the supermarkets and you know, chemists and things, you will often find them on a 3-for-2 deal, and if you really search around and you're patient, I normally buy them when they buy one get one free, so you can save money in that way. Now, the other products I will use occasionally, not often, only if I'm going out somewhere special, is a hairspray. But just make sure when you read the, well, I've got this one here, Alberto Balsam. It's a cheaper one, but it's great. But when you read the back, which is important, buy one that says brushes out easily, because that way it doesn't mattle your hair up, and it does what it says on the tin. It brushes out. One brush, it's gone. So that's much kinder rather than the solid ones which can, you know, ruin your hair. And the other thing I love is a good quality serum. Again, don't buy any cheap ones, it's just not worth it. I used to use John Frieda's Frizzy serum, which is really great, but I've gone on now to find something better. If you actually go into your hairdresser and ask what they use, because they only ever use the top quality professional ranges, ones that you can't buy in the shops. My hairdresser recommended this. It's KMS California Silk Sheen Polishing Serum. Looks like that. Yeah. Now, yes, they are expensive, I know, but if you find out how much they are to buy at the hairdresser, and you go home and research on Amazon, you'll normally find them at half the price, including free delivery, and that's what I do. You can have beautiful hair using the best quality you know, products on the market, and just pay a fraction of the price if you shop around, so it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. Now, my method for washing my hair, what I do, as soon as I go in the shower, before I wash my face and my body or do anything else, I wash my hair. Now, I know it's going back to basics, but the basics are important. So what I do, I get my shampoo and I put it in my hand and sort of rub it around my hand, and then I dab it evenly all over the hair. No way do I get my hair going like that, because all you're going to do is make a mess. So the idea is to keep your hair long and straight while you're washing it, and that way you avoid all the tangles. So if evenly distribute your shampoo, make sure your hair's, you know, keep adding extra water rather than extra shampoo is the best way. And then what I do, I go like this around in this backwards and forwards method rather than up and down, and I do all that round like this, keeping it straight. And then as I come round to do the sides, I'll go like this, working my way down all around it, so keeping that hair nice and straight. And I pull it round this side, and I do the same like this all around. And that really is the best method, keeps it lovely and straight, tangle free. So then I rinse the hair really, really well, but very important, tepid water. As I said, that's so important. Keep it as cool as you can manage, really. And then I put the conditioner on using the same method, but before I do that, I would squeeze as much water out as I can, but never ever wring your hair. Don't go like that, no way, because that breaks it. So what I do, I just get the hair and just from the hair, just squeeze the water out as much as possible without wringing it. And you can towel dry it a bit if you want, but again, don't, sorry, I'm not sure if my video's gone off. Give me a sec, I just want to check. Ooh, I don't know if my video's gone off or not. I really don't. But anyway, I'm going to carry on. I just heard it make a funny noise. So, again with the towel, don't just get that towel and go like that. That's really no good. Get the towel, if you want to sort of towel dry your hair, just sort of get the towel and squeeze it. Just do that. Around, same thing, just squeeze the moisture out rather than rub it, because all you're doing, you're just roughing up all the cuticles of your hair. And then I put my conditioner on using the same method, just sort of spread it evenly with the hands and dab it all over. And I get my aqua splash and I just brush it through, brush the conditioner through like that. That's all you do, all the way around. Same thing, brush it. So that spreads the conditioner really evenly through the hair, and that's what I do. And then while I'm waiting for that conditioner to sort of activate, then I'll wash my face, my body, or, you know, whatever I got to do, you know, pedicure things and scrub, shave the legs, whatever it is you want to do that while the conditioner's soaking in. And that's a much better idea. It just gives it that chance to sort of get the benefit rather than rinsing the conditioner straight away. And then after, I would towel dry my hair. I would wrap it in the towel and then gently pat it dry, squeeze it dry. But I never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, would I use a hairdryer. Well, I'll say ever. Only when I go to the hairdresser, which is 4 times a year. Other than that, I don't use a hairdryer at all. And I'm lucky I've got straight hair. I don't need to use straighteners. But never, ever use straighteners. I know girls with straight hair want curly hair and girls with curly hair want straight hair, but sometimes you just got to love what you're born with and just go with it. Oh, that's the other thing. Tangle Teezer now do a blow drying brush, a special one, and if you use a method that they show on their tutorial video, you can actually blow dry your hair straight rather than using straighteners. It is wonderful. So it's just getting the method right. But I haven't got one of those because I don't blow dry my hair, so I don't need it. But that's it really. So try and avoid any heat. Try and avoid curling tongs. Try and avoid back combing and anything that's bad for your hair, or at least keep it to the bare minimum, because your hair, if you want lovely hair, you've got to really treasure it and look after it, and that way it'll last you a lifetime. So the other thing, I used to do a lot of swimming, but I had to give that up purely for my hair because it ruins it. The swimming hat's too tight on your head, and that felt horrible and it looks stupid because we've got so much hair and a swimming hat looks ridiculous. I don't know, I just basically I couldn't cope with the way it ruined my hair, so I gave that up. But what I did instead, because I still needed the exercise, I took up aqua aerobics, which is kinder to your hair because you don't get your hair wet, so you just sort of tie your hair up and you're still exercising the water, but without, you know, getting any chlorine in your hair. So that's another good tip. Also, I think what's going to help your hair, as indeed your body and your general health, if you can have a clean, healthy lifestyle, try not smoking, or at least cut down on your alcohol, and try and eat well and exercise, because you're going to see the benefits with your skin and your figure and everything about you will be so much better if you lead a cleaner, healthier lifestyle, because we all know how sort of smoke and drinking can age you and ruin your health. So, and it has to have a knock-on effect with your hair. So, you know, get plenty of rest and just look after yourself. Look after your hair, look after your body. You know, do everything you can, and it, you know, it will pay you dividends, and you'll have beautiful hair for life. And I do believe in spending extra money on my hair. I'd rather have the best quality products I can for my hair and cut back on other luxuries. You don't need the takeaways, you haven't got to buy that magazine. Just spend money on your hair and look after yourself, because your hair's with you all day, every day. That takeaway has been and gone in 10 minutes, hasn't it? So that's how I look at it. Now, regarding the hairdresser, if you can bear to keep your hair natural colour, it's better than having to dye it. I mean, I'm older now. I'm in my late 50s. So my hair isn't naturally like this, but I do go for a more natural look, which is kinder. So what I would advise you, if you don't go for a block colour, because you need to go to the hairdresser far more often to keep it up, but if you can go for highlights, that's kind of your hair. And also avoid peroxide, avoid those high lift tints, because they just ruin your hair. So what I do at my hairdresser, I mean, I wouldn't even attempt to do it myself, but I have 3 colours in my highlights. I've got one sort of like a lightish blonde, but as I said, not a damaging one, definitely not a high lift. And I have it in a warmer honey colour blonde as well. And I have a darker colour, which is, I don't know, like a kind of brownish coppery colour, and that keeps his natural. I don't know if you can see, it just looks natural. In fact, before when I was younger, this was my natural kind of colour anyway, so it isn't too far removed, but it does hide any grey hair. So if you can see, I'll try and show the highlights if you can see, but it looks very, very natural. And it really does last for 3 months, and the regrowth just isn't visible in the same way. In fact, even at the end of the 3 months, it doesn't look terrible, whereas if it was a block colour, you would see that. So that's another good idea, to try and sort of preserve the condition of your hair. Right, I think I've covered everything. As I said, my first time, so you have to excuse me if I'm waffling or repeating anything, because I've never done this before. But that's it basically. So I hope you've learnt some good tips, and maybe something you haven't thought of before, because there's lots of videos about long hair and how to look after it, but we all have a different idea on what we do and how we do things. But definitely go for good quality. Don't try and save money buying imitation products. And even with the tangle teaser, unfortunately there are cheap, nasty imitation versions that you can probably pick up for £1 or £2 that look similar, but they're not. This one is definitely made in Great Britain, definitely. It's made by Sean Palfrey, the tangle teaser, and Sean Palfrey was a sort of top hairdresser for 30 years, so he actually invented the product. In fact, if you research on Dragon's Den, you'll find out that when he first invented the tangle teaser, that they rejected the product, and he messed up his presentation and he upset one of the dragons, so that was him out the door. But it was funny, because I think 2 or 3 years later they went back to him, and they said of all the products they regret saying no to, tangle teaser was #1, because Sean Palfrey's gone on to win every award possible, every beauty award, every hairdressing award, and he wins. There's nothing this man hasn't won, because it's just innovation, his products, they really are. So don't go for any cheap, inferior products. And that's it basically. Look after yourself, and I hope you've learnt something interesting. and I thank you very much indeed for bearing with me and for watching. I probably wouldn't bother subscribing because I don't think I'm going to be making any more of these kind of videos. I might make one, if I probably will, and that's going to be about having very major orthodontics at an older age, so that's something different. Because I had Invisalign and I didn't do it until I was 50, so that's I think that would be quite an interesting video to do. Other than that, unless you like rock and roll, rockabilly, don't worry about subscribing to me, I won't be offended. And any comments you make, please be kind. Don't do anything, don't say anything horrible, you'll upset me. Okay then, thank you very much indeed. And thanks from Ruthie in Rayleigh in Essex, where I live. Okay, thank you, bye-bye. Hello again. There's a couple of tips I forgot to give you in my first video, so I thought I'd tag this extra little one on the end. When you wash your hair, as I said, you know, preferably once a week, what you can do between whiles to sort of freshen it up. If you've already got long hair, a good method midweek is to tie this hair back. Put it in a plait, put on an old t-shirt, tight one that's tight around the neck. If you put that on, once your hair's plaited back, and you tuck the plait inside the t-shirt, it will hold that plait. So that gives you two free hands. And then what I do on a midweek, I fill a bowl up in the bathroom, and I'll just wash literally just the crown. You don't have to wash all the length. And you've got your two hands free, and you can just do that. Or if, say, you've got a fringe, I mean, as I said, I had a fringe, so sometimes I would just do that just to sort of freshen the fringe up midweek. But you can just do the fringe if you've got one, or just the crown. But with your hair tied back, it gives you those free hands that you can bend over and just wash your hair. And that's a good way to sort of freshen it up midweek. And it just saves, you know, washing the whole lot. That's what I do. And another tip is, when we're talking about trimming your hair, I know some girls just want to grow their hair come what may, and they won't cut their hair for 5 years or whatever, 10 years. And I'm sorry, but it just doesn't look good when it's all ratty and all up and down and look like rat's tails at the bottom and all thin and wispy and horrible. I always believe in going for good condition over long length. It's much nicer to see beautiful shoulder length hair in perfect condition rather than waist length, which looks a mess at the ends, in my opinion anyway. So I would say, I know they traditionally say get your hair trimmed every 6 to 8 weeks. I just get mine done when I go to the hairdresser, and I just 4 times a year. I go every 3 months, and they just trim just the ends. That's all. And it just looks lovely and a nice clean line at the bottom. So that's what I'd recommend. So even though you're trying to grow it, you don't want to cut any of it, but you need to, just to keep the condition, to stop the ends splitting. And because I look after my hair so well, my hairdresser actually says to me, your hair isn't even split at the ends, but I will still get that trim simply because your hair grows at different lengths. So of course it's all up and down at the ends, so it just makes it really straight and neat at the end. So that's my other tip, which I forgot to mention first time, but it's very, very useful for you. And I mean, in the old days, hairdressers used to be quite scissor happy. You'd ask for a trim, you'd say, can you just cut an inch? And they'd cut 6 inches. But I don't think they're like that. And if you tell them you're trying to grow it, they'll respect your wishes and they won't hack it all off. I know some are scissor happy, but you're going to find a hairdresser that you trust and that will sort of look after you and help you. So, hey, thanks again. I hope you enjoyed that extra information. Thanks, bye.